said at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you.
You're not going to be unscathed, but at least you could have some type of support.
Yeah.
And so I paid for like 10 sessions, 10 of her first sessions. I said, I really want you to.
He's with my man Charlie Mack. So Charlie was with me every step of the way. Charlie has been with me, 30 years coming up in the business. So, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love. And all he has to do is add discipline. And he's gonna be all right.
Tisha Campbell is no longer protecting Will Smith, and now she is speaking out about what she describes as dark, Illuminati-like ties connected to him. Some online voices even claim he has been using a kind of voodoo energy to influence or confuse young actors like Bryshere, Jabari Banks, and even his own son, Jaden. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions, the timing of all this feels significant. In Hollywood, when timing feels deliberate, people start connecting the dots because the story did not begin yesterday. It traces back to the 1990s. In 1996, there was an iconic photo featuring Will Smith, Dwayne Martin, Marlon Wayans, and Alex Thomas, all smiling, young, and rising in their careers. At the time, Dwayne was married to Tisha Campbell, while Will was already Fresh Prince royalty. Everyone in that circle appeared to be chasing something big, and for years, their friendship seemed solid. But let's fast forward. In 2012, rumors exploded when a tabloid published a cover story claiming Will Smith and Dwayne Martin were secretly involved in a same-sex relationship. The headline suggested that Dwayne was the man who came between Will and Jada and Tisha. At that time, Tisha publicly defended Will. On March 7th, 2012, she posted on Twitter that she was tired of the media targeting the Smith family. She described Will and Jada as an amazing couple and urged people to stop spreading lies. Back then, she appeared firmly supportive of both Will and Dwayne. However, things later became more complicated. In 2018, Tisha filed for divorce. In 2019, she sought a restraining order against Dwayne Martin, alleging emotional and physical abuse during their marriage. Court documents included claims that he grabbed her arm and attempted to pull her into a bedroom. Now, Tisha is speaking out further with her upcoming memoir, The A Word, A Mother's Journey Through Autism and Love, scheduled for release on September 15th. The book focuses on raising her son, who was diagnosed with autism at 18 months. On the surface, it appears to be about motherhood. However, some people online are questioning whether there is more beneath the surface. After walking away from a 24-year marriage, and the industry circle that came with it, there may come a point when staying silent is no longer possible. And that is when silence breaks and secrets begin to surface. Before going further, it is also important to mention Brother Bilal, a man who claims to have been Will Smith's personal assistant and close friend for nearly 40 years. During an appearance on Tasha K's platform, he alleged that he once walked in on Will Smith and Dwayne Martin engaged in a sexual act.
Having anal sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second. Who was on top?
It wasn't a top. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Murder, like murder. It was murder in there.
Now, Will's camp responded immediately. A spokesperson told the media that the story was completely fabricated. Jada Pinkett Smith later appeared on The Breakfast Club and dismissed the claims as nonsense, stating that they were considering legal action. She added that it felt like an obvious attempt to cash in on controversy.
Ridiculous, right? And it's nonsense. And this is a person that tried a shakedown, a money shakedown that didn't work. We're going to take legal action.
Officially, Will denied everything. However, the rumors never truly disappeared. Each time Will takes a young male actor under his wing, the speculation seems to resurface. That's when Bryshere entered the conversation. Gray, who rose to fame on Empire, was known to have been mentored by Will early in his career.
Will, who is best to give you advice? And it's Will Smith, and I'm getting so much good advice. I got my first acting role, Empire, and it's changing my life. And it's like, I'm listening from the greatest, and it's like making me well prepared to work with Taraji.
Some old tweets and posts began questioning Will's role in Bryshere's life. One deleted tweet even claimed, "Remember, Will Smith was mentoring Bryshere. Was he the reason he turned gay because of what Smith allegedly exposed him to?" When Bryshere's career later fell apart, and Will's name was already connected to past rumors, that's when the whispers grew louder. Then Jabari Banks entered the picture. Jabari Banks, the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, mentioned in an interview that Will had been a guiding force and a light in his career. He explained that they rarely talk about the character itself, but instead discussed the industry and his career path. At first, that sounds like genuine mentorship. However, online critics interpreted it differently. Some began asking, what does industry talk really mean? That is when conspiracy theories started gaining traction again. After the Oscar incident, online forums lit up. Some Reddit threads claimed the slap felt staged, like some kind of ritual. One post even tried to assign symbolic meaning to the event, connecting it to numerology and alleged Illuminati symbolism. Another thread described it as a supposed Freemason ritual involving Saturn and witchcraft. There were also claims about a 1997 wedding backdrop that certain fans said had Masonic vibes. When Jaden began posting videos with his face painted red, some online users interpreted it as symbolic, calling it ritualistic imagery. A few extreme tweets even repeated the long-standing conspiracy myth that Hollywood actors sacrifice their firstborn sons, a claim that has no verified evidence and remains part of internet folklore. Recently, Will appeared on the Deep End podcast and shared a more personal reflection. He said, "It's such a rare gift to reach the end of everything this world offers and finally be in a place where only God remains." He spoke about achieving the highest levels of fame and realizing it was not enough. When celebrities discuss spiritual emptiness after success, conspiracy communities often twist those reflections into selling your soul narratives. Will also revealed that before returning to music, he called Jay-Z and Kendrick Lamar for advice. One message stood out to him: don't fake your story.
It's like, before I started, I made 2 phone calls. I talked to Jay and I talked to Kendrick, and I was like, "Hey, I want to get back in music," and it was like, "What's the advice?" And Jay said, like, "Don't fake your story."
That line, "Don't fake your story," carries weight, especially when someone has been the subject of non-stop headlines and rumors for over 20 years. Then there's the situation involving Willow. Will once shared a story about promising Jay-Z that Willow would complete her Whip My Hair tour. Instead, she shaved her head and decided to quit. Will later admitted that in that moment, he felt completely powerless as a father. That story challenges the idea that he controls everything, even within his own family. Yet despite that, the same rumors continue to follow him. Every time a young male actor is connected to him professionally, speculation seems to resurface. Over the years, there have also been old online claims, including accusations made by Orlando Brown. Additionally, some people have attempted to link Will's name to Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs, despite no verified evidence placing him on any official list at this point. Much of what circulates online appears to be a mix of rumor, speculation, and conspiracy theory rather than confirmed fact. Still, in the world of celebrity culture, repeated whispers often take on a life of their own, regardless of proof.
Straight the fuck up, what are you talking about, You raped me as a kid, you ass. You raped me as a kid and you all my kids, and you still trying to get away with. What do you mean? I'm sitting right here!
This is where things become complicated. Back in 2012, Tisha Campbell publicly stood by Will. She remained married to Dwayne Martin for years after the rumors surfaced. Eventually, she filed for divorce. Later, new claims emerged, and now she is preparing to release a memoir. Naturally, people are beginning to wonder. She once defended Will, so is she finally done doing that? We do not yet know what is inside her book. It may focus strictly on motherhood and raising a child with autism. However, when someone who was part of that 1990s Hollywood circle speaks publicly again, people tend to listen more closely, especially when that circle included Will, Dwayne, Marlon, and others, and especially when that same circle has decades of rumors attached to it. Bringing it back to Bryshere and Jabari. Jabari openly praises Will's mentorship, while Bryshere's legal troubles were ultimately his own. Yet when you combine old same-sex rumors, former assistant allegations, Illuminati conspiracy threads, Oscar slap ritual theories, Jaden symbolism debates, and years of shifting silence, it creates a storm, and storms make people nervous. But here is the bigger question. Why does Will's name continue to survive scandal after scandal? He weathered the 2012 rumors. He moved past the entanglement headlines. He endured the Oscar controversy. He faced assistant allegations. He has outlasted multiple conspiracy cycles. Each time, he denies the claims, considers or threatens legal action, and continues forward. Some call that Hollywood power. Others call it resilience. But when someone survives that much public scrutiny, people begin to frame it as something almost supernatural, which is why extreme voices start using words like voodoo. Maybe the real question is not whether he used anything mystical at all. Maybe the question is this: why does Hollywood power seem so mysterious that people feel compelled to explain it through conspiracy? Why do the same names resurface whenever old rumors are revived? Is Will simply a powerful star with real flaws, navigating life under relentless public pressure? Or has he become a symbol of a larger industry machine that shapes and influences young actors in ways the public does not fully understand? As we wait for Tisha's book on September 15th, one thing is certain: If she chooses to speak more openly about that 1990s Hollywood circle, people will pay attention, so the real debate may not be about secret rituals or hidden agendas. It may simply be about perception, whether mentorship is being misinterpreted as manipulation, or whether the internet has turned speculation into something larger than reality. Either way, the timing feels significant. And in Hollywood, when the timing feels loud, people assume something is coming next.